Hey folks, this is Dr. Deniz, the Wellness Doc, bringing you all things healthy for your mind, body, and soul. On location at Mercer County State Park, as you can see from the beautiful surroundings, this is where the USA Olympic crew team trains. Super inspirational. You got to get here early to see them. All right, let's get right to it. We just finished the 18th episode of my podcast entitled Comprehensive Health and Wellness. And the topic of discussion today is what is periodization training and how it can enhance one's mental health. So let's get right to it. What is periodization? Well, it's basically taking the whole year and breaking it up into components so that you can optimize your performance and prevent your level of injuries. So how do we do that? Well, we try to take into account the in-season of a sport. So let's just say for ice hockey, it would be October all the way to about March, April, depending on how far you go. You know, obviously, if you're going to the Stanley Cup, it's going to be a little bit longer. So the goal within that segment, within that season, is to maintain what you have, your strength, your endurance, but also you want to be your sharpest at your specialized skill set for your sport. So if you're a goal scorer, you want to be at the top of your game. If you're a defenseman, you want to be stopping people from scoring. Okay. Then we have the postseason, which I call rehabilitation and recovery phase, and that's where most athletes are doing just that. And then we have the off season. This is where athletes make the most gains as far as body composition, hiring a nutritionist, putting on muscle, putting on body weight and strength, and really working on the things that they need so that it's a preparation for what's coming next. And then, of course, we have preseason, and this is where now the focus tends to go towards specialized skills, the specialized skill sets that we need for our sport. I'm talking really fast because it's freezing out here in Jersey, but I hope you guys can hear me. So let's just say month number 1, we're going to focus on high repetitions with high volume. We're talking maybe 50, 60 sets and minimal rest intervals. So in this phase, we're going to do supersets and drop sets, and wow, my mouth froze for a second, and ascending sets, and all of these principles of training that lead to high intensity circuit training, things like this. Month number 2, we're going to choose heavy weights with minimal repetitions and high volume. Maybe we're talking 50 to 60 sets per session of workout. And then month number 3, we're looking at medium weights with medium repetitions. We're looking at maybe 8 to 12 and a medium amount of volume. Maybe we're looking at 45 to 50 sets per session. There's so many other things we can change, and I'm just trying to keep this very simple right now. But I'm telling you, I'm going to put the link for an amazing book down below. But this can get really complicated, macro cycles and micro cycles and all this kind of stuff. But my goal today was just to simplify it and let you know that in the previous videos and podcasts that I've done, you must address the 5, at least the top 5 variables that you need to change every single workout. Reps, sets, weight, rest intervals, and order of movement. There are many more other variables that you need to change, and that's where I think the book will help you all very much. And I don't want to talk for 30 minutes on this video because I'll be an icicle and I'll be like Frosty the Snowman. So how does that relate to mental health? Well, number 1, it prevents plateaus, and we talked about that in some of the other videos. And with plateaus, you could also get, it goes side by side at times with overtraining. With overtraining, then now we're talking to the mental, emotional components where depression sets in, where anxiety can set in, because it affects performance. Sometimes when we get to that level, we're training harder and then our performance goes downward, and that could really create a lot of stress and mess with our minds. Also, when you incorporate this periodization principle, the probability of you getting hurt then goes downwards and it minimizes, because bottom line is this: when we get hurt as athletes, it messes us up. And that whole 5 stages of grief that I spoke about before, we definitely go through that. And sometimes it's longer depending on how quickly we heal. So that's the other component. But I'll tell you this, if you apply these principles that I'm sharing with you today, and I went in much more detail in the podcast earlier in the studio, you definitely will optimize your performance and prevent your level of injury and increase your mental, emotional health so that you have balance and you can get through these stressful times and be the best person that you could be in your lives. Dr. Deniz here, providing hope, inspiration, encouragement, and specialized knowledge so that you can optimize your performance in your lives and keep moving forwards. God bless. Take care.